Today I got the VRBP100 with a sling on, and it has QD mounts here and here. I'm not really a fan of the fact that if you're a left-handed person, you're kind of screwed out of the sling, where it's got an ambidextrous mag release and safety, but as far as like slinging it, it's only really good for right-handers. So I think that's a kind of a shortcoming of this design. So even with that, because of the way these slings go, I would basically, I'm kind of pinched on what I can do with this. So shouldering it, you're basically clumping the sling up into your shoulder as well, so it can easily lead to a bruised shoulder depending on the loads that you're shooting. And since this is also kind of a look at how this thing can function, there we go. It can be kind of interesting to take care of the malfunctions here, because one of the most common things to have with this, with target loads, is inline stovepipe. So basically, as you saw, where it's in line with the rifle or shotgun. So I had them kind of intermixed there. I had practice loads and full power defense loads from RIA. And that last one was a defense load. So most of the time it functions pretty good. But you kind of, my recommendation is to kind of leave the gas piston alone as far as like the cleaning is, for the one that's already installed for like the 2 3/4, if you're going to be shooting a lot of practice loads. But also I think another thing is, I don't think that the extractor is tight enough, or it may be too tight. I don't know. Time will tell. But this is just kind of a more updated review of this. And also, this cheek piece likes to come undone. So if you pop off this end cap here, and you'll see the threads inside the little back piece of this, get some thread lock, and I like to have it all the way down. I don't really need it risen because I'm not putting a scope on it. So I just have an EOTech, which works pretty well. Your donut of death is where it's going to go, and you can zero it for slugs at certain ranges, of course. But for the most part, buckshot and birdshot, you got your donut of death. Works out pretty good. Here we go again, another inline. So the extractor is not hooked on it, so throwing it out the front, and it's having a little bit of an issue being pushed up there. So yeah, you wouldn't want to be using this thing seriously with these issues happening, but it's only really happening with target loads or birdshot. So I had them alternated there. I had birdshot, then defense load, birdshot, defense load, just kind of alternating them, just having a little bit of fun with it. For magazine changes, basically like the Tavor, but with the AR style little paddle, and obviously the AR style safety. It's pretty intuitive. So it doesn't really kick all that much. I'm able to basically relax, and by now the gas system seems to be pretty well tuned into the fact that it's not going to get all that much use. The one thing that is annoying is I haven't used any Loctite yet on this, so I have to keep on going in and pushing it back down and tightening it down. No matter how much you tighten it down, the vibration that's going through this stock is going to loosen it up, because the bolt is actually hitting on a buffer back here, and it's lost most of its velocity by that time, so you're not really getting that much recoil, but it's enough. And yeah, so it is what it is. But I think this is a pretty sweet shooting shotgun. I just don't think that this sling is really working out all that well for me. Maybe it's just these tri-glides that are kind of getting in the way, so I can mess with that and kind of get back to you guys on that. So anyways, let's get to shooting. Okay, so I really like this shotgun. I like basically the fact that it's actually functioning a bit better. And again, that cheek weld or that cheek riser. I like the fact that it's functioning pretty well now, and it mostly functions for full powered ammunition. I could get into the reasons why semi-auto shotguns are crapped on a lot for not being, you know, reliable all the way around. It's not that easy, but some companies are able to do it. Others are trying to, you know, reinvent the wheel in some cases, good and bad. But anyways, the shotgun's doing pretty well, and most people are having pretty good experiences with it. I'm noticing that it's basically doing just exactly what I need it to do. I don't typically shoot practice ammunition. I'm just doing it, you know, kind of to see how this thing does. I typically will get like RIA buckshot or something that's really cheap to get. It comes in at about between 40 and 60 cents a shot, so kind of like practice ammunition for some pistols or rifles or whatever. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm shooting a lot of shotgun ammo. It's not going to be as easy as shooting a lot of rifle or something. This is going to be a little bit more on your shoulder, obviously. But the VRBP100, it was a good investment in my mind. I like it. I think it works pretty good. Just get the types of defense loads that you want to use, buckshot or slugs, and test them out. Shoot a couple hundred shells through them and of your defense load and see how it works. And most of the time, it's going to be reliable. But do your due diligence on maintenance and practicing, and you'll be A-okay.